Okay. I'm just interested. Right. Okay, you're all set.
Okay, well, it's a couple of minutes early. Should we wait until?
59, sure.
Okay, depends on which clock you're looking at. The one,
Don't look at that one.
okay, I won't look at that one.
You got a couple seconds left. You got 10 seconds.
Okay, well, all right.
It's 10 o'clock, so.
Okay, depending on which, the one behind you says it's 1 minute till, so.
Wait till that one changes.
All right, I'll go by that one.
Okay, stand by.
Yeah, it's definitely important that we do this.
I'm with you.
Alrighty, you can go ahead and start anytime.
Ready?
You ready?
Mhm.
Okay. Good morning. It is the 10th of July, 2025 at 10 o'clock in the morning. And I'm calling the Library Commission meeting to order. We have a full house of commissioners here, Lane Morrill, Mark Peterson, Street Shellhaus, and myself, David Ravinas, and welcome you all. A special welcome to Marg. This is her first time here, and we're delighted to have you with us and look forward to your input for sure. Do we have any announcements or correspondence that anybody wants to bring up here? All right, well, then the next order of business is that Street has expressed a willingness to take on a little bit more responsibility. And we did not vote last time on a vice chair. And so anything you want to say about your candidacy, Street?
Somebody needed to do it.
Somebody needs to, yeah, right.
So enthusiastic.
I felt like I could devote some more time to the library commission and helping us whatever way needs to be helped. So
Boy, no
Happy to-
complaints here.
happy to do so.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Anybody have any questions for Street? Any thoughts?
I move that Street be appointed vice chairman.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, you voting?
Aye.
Okay. All right. It's unanimous.
Going for a minute there.
Okay.
Thank you.
Hey, great. Thank you, Street. Really appreciate it. And you and I will be in touch from time to time about things.
All right.
All right. Let's go on to the reports here. Budget report.
Sure. Well, we are right at the end and beginning of the new budget years. And as I reviewed the library portion of the budget, a few interesting things to note. We finished 2025 with personnel slightly above budget and materials and service slightly above budget. I understand the materials and services, part of that is that the budget for new books was underestimated at the beginning of that budget year, and we needed to continue spending on new books. So that was the basic difference there. Next year's budget has been increased. The personnel budget has been increased from 19,000 in the last fiscal year to 44,000 in the current fiscal year. Now, that is a reflection of some compensation increases for the part-time librarian, and also the introduction of position for the part-time librarian budgeted at $6,000. The materials and services budget has been increased very substantially to obviously to plan for setting up shop in the new library and anticipated costs of doing that. There are 5,000 for new software, custodial support and supplies, and a contingency, an operating contingency of $10,000. So it seems to me that people were looking ahead at the needs of the current operating year that are out of proportion to a regular year, and that it's well covered.
Thank you. I think part of the personnel budget increase has to do with the fact that we are actively looking for a children's librarian too. And so that's going to be a big chunk of that, I believe. So appreciate that. Thanks very much, Lane. Okay, library expansion status report. You want to say a few things, Neil? Yeah, absolutely. Sit in the hot seat.
Just to kind of continue the budget talk a little bit on the capital side, we have paid the contractor $551,000 in the last fiscal year, which is tracking almost exactly what we were planning on. We spent a little bit more on architects and engineering than we were anticipating, but it was still pretty close to like the $600,000 we had budgeted for last year. And now we're in a new fiscal year, so I think we have the right amount budgeted for the main contractor, and I put a little bit extra on there for architects and engineering on that side, and then we have our $100,000 that we have for the interior supplies, and then the other $20,000 for the interior wall belt. So we'll be attacking that starting next week with the interior designer.
Amazing. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
As far as progress, I just met with the contractor the other day. The weather barrier's done, the siding is 95% done. The roofing, they had to figure out the venting, but they got that figured out, and the roofing should be complete soon. They're doing a high wind installation on the roofing to make sure there aren't any problems the next windstorm we have. Electrical and plumbing is routed in. Installation, I think it's happening this morning. They just had to finish the blocking for mounting things on the walls, and installation's happening today. And they're going to do a vapor barrier pretty soon. There were a couple of things that came up, and I was kind of wondering if this would happen as far as tariffs and price increases. It hasn't hit us very hard, but the electrical company, they're seeing there's a $2,400 tariff fee that they're gonna have to pay. So the general contractor is thinking he can absorb some of that, and we're not gonna have to meet the whole cost. So a pretty good general contractor. One other thing on the pricing was the power supply. The service had to be a 400 amp service instead of 200 amp service. So there's an extra 5,000 there. The general contractor said he could absorb some of that too, but he's gonna have to look at the numbers and see what he can do for us. We put in our contract that it would be finished October 27th, and they're thinking they might be done even a month and a half ahead of that. So things are progressing real quickly over there. So yeah, things are looking good.
Fantastic. Now, did anybody ever talk to like the foreman or the contractor about the siding and the fact that it was not put on quite the way it was intended to be.
I didn't mention it, General.
Okay. I think if for no other reason than, well, let me just explain that if you look at the architectural plans, about half the siding is supposed to be vertical. And they zipped it on all there horizontally, which is fine, except it looks a little bit more like, you know, some sort of big development rather than something that was a little more distinctive. We can make up that deficit with paint colors. We can still make it look very attractive and so forth. But I think it wouldn't hurt to just let him know that that happened. That way, though, maybe when we're working on the interior, which is really the important part, that they'll be a little bit more conscientious about following through with this. So, I mean, I'm happy to do it, but I have no authority with that. So if you would do it, that would be great. Okay, fantastic. That would be terrific.
More attention to detail.
Yeah, thank you. I would appreciate that. So.
Does the construction budget include an owner's contingency? I mean, do we have a contingency on our side of the budget? To cover any?
I think just on the operating budget, I don't think we put a contingency on the capital.
Oh,
How much of the space was supposed to be changed in siding? Both sides, front and back? Where was the?
Okay, if you, I didn't bring that with me, but basically, yeah, on the front and on one of the sides, it was supposed to have been partly vertical, just to break it. Oh, but the part of it's supposed to be vertical.
I understand they're done with the problem, but they're not done siding the building.
That's correct.
It's coming back.
That's
Why
correct.
can't you fix it?
Because you'd have to tear out a whole bunch of the stuff that they've already put in.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's right.
right.
You fix something.
We thought about that and we decided that this was a minor enough issue that we would rather make them feel a little guilty so that then they would really concentrate on the inside, which is more important. So, yeah, no, that was tossed around, the idea of making them pull it all out again. But, yeah. Okay, well, thank you, Neil, appreciate that. You did mention one thing there, which I will just add a little bit to, and that is that this coming week, a week from today, actually, I think, we are having the first formal meeting about the interior. And it's going to be Tracy and Neil and me, and hopefully Lynn. I don't know if he was able to get out of his conflict or not.
Sure about the schedule.
Yeah, he was going to try. And then Michelle Pelletier is coming up from Eugene. And so we're going to go over things. I did talk with Carolyn Bauman, who is the woman who has the warehouse in Waldport. And there's plenty of room, assuming we start ordering things now and they are here before we need them. There's plenty of room in the warehouse to have them, to store them there until we're ready for them. One thing we do need to probably consider down the road a little bit is what do we do with the stuff that's there that we're not going to use again? And yeah.
Take some bookcases
Some bookcases, okay, yeah, there's,
there and downstairs.
yeah, okay, fantastic.
I'm gonna hopefully trade out some of the junk we have downstairs for some real bookcases.
You have number one priority,
Room at the new library in bookcases,
yeah.
little room.
Oh, okay,
you're, okay.
it's yours, so that's easy, and then there's that takes care of a lot of it, then okay, that was easy. Thanks.
I'm ready, whatever you want. I mean, I'm not ready in the new building, but I can go down and work on it. I'm not gonna be able to take many, but I'll probably be able to take 5 to 10 in the basement, because I'm gonna trade out. But I just need them brought down, trade out and get rid of the other ones, but
The way things are stored in there is there's books on top of bookcases and everything's kind of all scrunched together. So it probably won't happen for a while. But
that's fine.
Yeah.
My comment is that I'm easy and I can be ready pretty much whenever you guys need it.
That is awesome. Thank you. Boy, that's just terrific. Yeah, so anybody have any thoughts or questions about the library build right now? It was very interesting that during the last commission chairs meeting, we have a mayor who is passionate about things outdoors, like gardens and parks and trails and things like that, and tends to put new buildings and things maybe in the secondary category. Well, he's very excited about this library, and I think the fact that you can actually see it there, and he's already talking about, well, okay, I won't say much more, but he's already talking about finding a budget for a party, some sort of inaugural event when we started moving in. And Marg, you have said that you would work as a helper on some of those issues. So if anybody has any thoughts on what that party might look like or how it might, how it might manifest, if you would be willing to talk with Marg about it, that would be the thing. She can be the repository of information for the moment, and then we can go from there.
All about a party.
We're all about parties, yeah. You can cook for it, Kimmy, anytime. Okay. Yeah, for the grand opening. All right, so the next report would be actually the library administrator. And the library administrator at the moment is up in Alaska, hopefully having a wonderful time. Thanks, Neil, appreciate it. So a few of us will sit in and talk about what she was going to talk about. And Street, you want to talk about the ebooks?
Right. Tracy did her usual spreadsheet for the quarter. And for that spreadsheet, we had 1,089 combined audio and ebook checkouts. So that averaged about 363 per month. We only added a few new users, 9 for the quarter, but there's still a strong demand, obviously, for ebooks and audiobooks. And I think that's probably especially important now that a lot of our collection is not available. And she also indicated that the current budget for Advantage titles in the ebook system is set at $125. So I don't know, where that puts us, but
Yeah, it seems to me last year it wasn't enough.
right.
But I think that that's being corrected in this year's fiscal budget. So, yeah. Okay, great. Thank you. We've already talked about the storage of the new bookcases and furniture. That's been arranged. So we're in good shape there. The one thing that is a big question mark is what's going to happen to the Angel Job Corps. I know a lot of the job corps across the country have already been shut down. And I don't know how imminent this one is. But they were just extraordinarily helpful at practically no cost when we moved out. And it would be really terrific to have them available for when we move back in. But if they're not, then we will have to find some other way to do it. So yeah, keep our fingers crossed there. I think the big thing that was on Tracy's mind is the search for a children's librarian. We actually have more children. I don't want to say clients. What am I trying to say? Thank you. We have more children patrons than adult patrons in the library. That's largely due to the classes that come in and YFAP and so forth, and all the programs that go on during the summer, which are considerable, and that needs to be someone specifically in charge of that. So there are a couple of nibbles, so we're not dry in that regard, but that's ongoing. Always need more volunteers. Yeah, Sue.
Okay. Reporting, not part-time, children's librarian reporting to the head librarian or reporting to city manager?
Well, I think ultimately to the city manager, but I think that the two of them have to coordinate for sure. Yeah, I think if okay, the first answer is I don't know. I will ask, but my guess is that what would happen was that the children's librarian would work with the head librarian unless there was some dispute or some issue that needed city direct involvement. So I'll find out for you. Back to you on that. Okay. Yeah, we need volunteers. And I think now that there's a building there, I think that's probably going to be a little bit more exciting for people. And hopefully they will start coming in but if you know of anyone, please let them know that that there is a need there and that we'd love to have them participate.
Who should people reach out to?
To Tracy.
To Tracy.
Yeah, that, I mean, or actually any of us, okay, but ultimately, it would be to Tracy, so, yeah. Okay, anybody want to add anything or ask any questions on that? Okay, from the friends,
It's mostly all about money.
yeah,
We did get our trust management grant. It came in over the past 3 months, so $14,800 and some dollars. So that will pay for the next 2 years of ebooks. $2,000 or so to go into Pacific Northwest books for children. And I think around $1,000 helping with the different projects going on with summer reading. The book sale we had Sunday was slamming. We made $2,400 in 5 hours. We had a great book sale. We have caught the eye of a couple of bookstores, so that's really cool. Robert's Bookstore in Lincoln City has been to the last 2 sales.
and what are the implications of that? What,
We spend a
they come here, they buy books from us, oh,
spend a lot.
oh, wow.
And we were also awarded $1,000 from the Lions Club to do the dedication plaque for the new library. And I've got what we think the dedication is going to be, and I just put some copies of some plaques out there. I want to show you guys, see if anybody has any thoughts or whatever. We don't know. We don't have anything nailed down yet. I did talk to Bobby about the verbiage, and I think we're on the same page, and I'll get to that in a second. The other thing that's happened in the last 3 months is that Tracy and the friends have gotten together and we've gotten our websites coordinated. Excellent. So her website is new. Her website has most of the information on the library, where we used to be putting it on the friends website. What we're doing now is pointing to her. She points to us for donations. We point to her for programs and news and hours and everything that doesn't have to be updated on our site. So it looks pretty nice between the 2 sites at the moment. If you have a chance to take a look, push some little blue buttons and see if you go to the right place. So that was kind of cool. The black, I'm gonna show you these. Let me get you these. You want to see one? Sure. I took some pictures of some plaques on the internet. The other plaques that we have around town are just plain old square. And I don't know what we can do. We have $1,000 dedicated directly for the plaque, but the friends will add in depending upon what we end up getting and make that happen. These are just some ideas, and I don't know if anybody wants to go anything different than just a plain old, just a plain old square plaque. So what we what we are doing on the plaque is we are thanking the people that have given us money that were not the people that were responsible for building the library. So we're not thanking the city, we're not thanking the commission, we're not thanking the friends. We are thanking the people that for no other reason than just because they're wonderful, gave us money to make this library happen. That was our thought. If you guys have any opinions about that or we're open, but that's kind of the direction we were going.
So I have a couple questions, and one of them is the plaque going to name names?
It's right there. The verbiage is right in front of you.
Okay,
No, it's not.
Yeah,
It's two
okay.
Names.
okay,
The estate of the Hall family and the estate of the Peterson family.
Yeah.
Who supplied us with huge donations.
okay, great.
Those are the only two. The rest are the big donors, the big grant donors. And then we have so many people over
Yeah.
the last 8 years that have personally given us donations that we would be plaquing
Yeah.
the sidewalk.
Right, right. So that brings me to, I mean, okay, I think this is a terrific idea from my own perspective. One of the things that Sandy brought up at one point was that she saw, this, basically it was a slide projector. It was a computer screen. Okay, well, yeah, it was a computer, but I mean, it was giving a slide presentation is what I'm trying to say. On a smaller wall space that you could have donor, you could have the slide be anything you wanted it to say, but on a small space, you could say, okay, all donors from this amount of funds, and then the slide could change, and then you could have another list of donors in a different price category, and taking up much less room. It could be done really attractively. So,
Like a reader board, like the front reader board.
yeah, right.
It's similar to that. There's an example. The reason she came up with that, because she saw one in the lobby of the hospital.
Hospital, yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think personally, I think that's a great idea. And I mean, I'm not trying to dominate here, but anybody who has thoughts, but from my perspective, a really attractive plaque, and then a reader board combined with it is a great way to go. And that way you can change it, you can update it, you don't have to, struggle with trying to engrave somebody's name on something, so.
Is that on a computer? When you say reader board? is it-
Yeah, it's a computer screen.
It just sits on a stand and when you walk in, you see it?
Or
On the wall or wherever.
Oh, okay, okay, like a TV
Like
monitor
a
sort of.
TV monitor, yeah.
Okay, I gotcha.
From my perspective, we certainly don't have to include the commission on thanking anybody. I mean, that's our job, that's what we're here to do. So, I think your idea of honoring those who are not, who just gave for the sake of giving is a really great one.
Just as a novelty here, there's been 7 city managers since this
Right.
project started.
Right?
There's been 2 commission chairs. I don't know how many vice commission chairs. I don't know how many commission members. There's been actually the same 5 finance members, but there's been a long list if you would go through individual lists of people because of the length of time this project started with the 2+2 group back in the mid-2000s.
Right.
So that was part of the reason of saying that all of us, you guys, us, the city, we're just doing our job. We volunteered to be on the commission, we volunteered to be a friends organization to do our job. We signed up for this. People that handed us $150,000 did not sign up.
Right.
Gave us money.
Yeah.
So that,
I think that's fantastic. I have no objection to that at all, so. All right, any thoughts on? Thank you. Do you have more to say? Okay, all right. Appreciate that. Yeah, we are still looking for one other person as a tiebreaker on the commission. maybe Marilyn will follow through and join us. That would be wonderful if that happens. I'll talk to you afterwards and we can see what this next step might be. Unless you're totally turned off, but I see you haven't run out of the room yet, so it can't be too bad. Great. Anybody have any thoughts or concerns or questions? Right, any new business? I think this is a record, 28 minutes. We did it. All right, I will adjourn the October meeting of the Library Commission. Thank you all so very much. Appreciate it.